Hi guys, it's Rosie again. If you've watched my previous video from the rental challenge, you will be able to recognize all the items that I'm currently removing in this video. Um, Now let me explain a bit of what I'm doing in this video so you will be caught up again. So Hanbam Sims organized a challenge some time ago, and I saw this challenge on Twitter and it just piqued my interest and I wanted to participate. And then I found out there was actually a prize involved, which made me want to participate even more. But yeah, in my previous video, I created a bedroom apartment for a student, an art student named Mackenzie. And she had recently left everything behind in her life to start over, which she did in this pretty but dated apartment. But she made it work for her. And now with the second challenge, we actually have to do a little makeover in this bedroom. But that's not all. We are not allowed to use to remove any permanent features like the walls and the floors, obviously. The windows and the doors should stay as well. And let's see what else. Yeah, oh yeah, those columns that I've used, obviously those need to stay. Permanent features like damaged walls. So I use those things. I think they are from Vampires, the Vampires game pack. But if you look at the top of the walls, I've used some items to make it seem damaged, you know, those damaged walls. And there are some cracks in the walls as well, so I had to leave those in as well. What else? What else? We were still allowed to use custom content though. Let's see, what else did I keep in? Oh yeah, I actually found out later that we were not supposed to remove any ceiling lights, and I think also wall lights, but I didn't realize this at the time because I have actually lived in a lot of rental places, and you're usually allowed to change lights. Just, you know, it doesn't make sense to have them at a completely different spot. But I actually didn't move them around. I kept them in the same spot. I just used the lampshades, kind of. Yeah, that's what I did. But other than that, I think I managed to stick to the rules, and I didn't intentionally break them. So there's that. But yeah, the story for my second bedroom is that Mackenzie moved out. And the new tenant is Isabel Jones, and she is an archaeologist student. And when you watch this video, you will see that she has taken home quite a few gifts, or souvenirs, if you will, which she wasn't supposed to take home, but it makes the place look really nice. And I'm kind of struggling with the feel of this apartment. As you can see, I'm really looking for what kind of colors and patterns I'm going to use. I love patterns and colors, and I just wanted to make sure it all you know, it works together. And I have a lot of pretty carpets and rugs, and yeah, I was just struggling a bit, I would say, to find the right carpets with that wall, because I wasn't allowed to change the wall. So that was a challenge. But I think I did quite well in the end with the carpets that I chose. Um, I kind of wanted to match. It doesn't have to be an exact match. Like, it doesn't have to match colors or pattern, because that might be boring. I don't know. I like to match stuff. So I'm one of those people who would use matching sets most of the time, actually. But in this case, I actually wanted to use different patterns and colors and still make it work together. And I think I actually did do that. So I'm quite happy about that. I hope that's okay. I hope I'm allowed to feel happy about my own building. Um, but yeah, and as you can see here, I'm also using those same Jungle Adventure counters and cabinets again that I've used in the room before. But in the previous build, they were actually yellow, and now I'm using the dark brown versions. And I'm also hiding some shelves slightly underneath, so then objects will snap to the shelves. So it will actually work as cabinets. You can place something on top. Yeah. So I think I solved that pretty nicely because obviously by default you can't really place anything on top of cabinets. You can place items on end tables, coffee tables, desks, and counters, but not on cabinets. So yeah, I figured the best way to solve that was to put shelves slightly underneath, so that would actually save me a lot of using the 9 and 0 keys to move objects up and down, which I still did by the way, but slightly less. And this area, I actually decided to make that her little private museum, if that makes sense. So, as I mentioned, she takes home these little souvenirs from her field trips that she has because she's an archaeologist in training. If that makes sense, she's studying to be an archaeologist, and with her field trips, she comes across a variety of items that she deems nice enough to be displayed in her bedroom apartment. And I have to say that I ended up using a lot of bright colors again, which isn't necessarily something I usually do. Like I mentioned, I like it when stuff matches, and now I actually made a few items really pop. So I think that's nice actually. I think I will do that more often. But yeah, let's see. Is there anything else I can really tell about what I'm doing here? Yeah, I'm still trying to find where I'm going to place certain items. I've clearly decided here that that's going to be the desk area, which I still think is the best area, because all the other places were already taken, and I didn't want to put her desk in front of the window, so I wanted to have like a little wall behind it, so I could add some more clutter there. So yeah, I think that is the best place. What else? Oh yeah, as you can see, I've used some custom content items in this build again, and this time I've actually used a bed that I created based off one of the base game beds. But it's not a base game bed. It's I added the mesh to remove the part of the headboard because I didn't really like that it was so high. So I removed those little head cushions thingies that were on top. And I also made it a dark brown leather, and I added IKEA Stockholm bedding, which I really like, and it really works with this particular bed. And yeah, I created that one myself. So I took the texture from the bedding from IKEA and I converted it into a bed, which took a couple of hours actually. So it may seem simple, but it wasn't. And what else? Oh yeah, I also made matching. Well, matching. I think it matches nicely. Those nightstands. I also created those for the bed actually, and the curtains used in this build are actually curtains that I also have in real life in my house because I really like that fabric. It's also Stockholm fabric, and a couple years ago I was at IKEA for something else. I don't really remember what I was there for, but I visited this little sales corner that they have where they offer some furniture and items for less because it's either damaged or leftover, and they had these coupons. We call it coupons. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but so they're like big piles of fabric that they had left over because they clearly were removing this fabric from their collection, but that was enough to cover my entire house, all the windows in my house. So I was like, okay, this is actually a very nice deal, and I like this fabric, so I'm gonna call my hubby and see if he's okay with me taking this home, and he was. So, and my mom actually turned them into curtains because she knows how to, and well, I know how, but she's just better at it. So she actually made all my curtains. But yeah, I'm quite pleased to say that I've made curtains for my Sims from the same fabric, so now I can place them in my other builds as well. From I also have my Sim self and her family in the game, and I think it's nice that she can have the curtains that we have in real life as well. Also, these books were actually okay. They have been recorded, but you can't see them anymore. I added some custom content books, custom content frames, custom content tea boxes, custom content, a custom content coffee tin. What else? What else? I think I actually used more custom content in this build than I did in the first one. And I kind of expected to be using less. But yeah, that's how these things go. Also, a fun little thing to mention is that these builds were actually being judged by a couple of people, and I don't know. At the time, I didn't know who they were. I know now, but back then I had no idea who the judges were. And I'm happily surprised to say that my first building from Mackenzie, it actually got judged positively. And I won first place with that, which was kind of surprising to me because I simply didn't expect that, because I was really afraid they would be negative about the space that I created, even though it felt right to me. That doesn't really mean that everyone is going to like it, but feedback in general was actually quite positive. And yeah, like I said, I won first place, but the scores were really close. So and the other people who participated, we were all very close in scores, so it could have been anyone else really. But I'm just happy to say that yeah, I got first place for the first round. And I'm not really comfortable yet sharing how this build was judged, because I want to save that for the next video. Because I'm actually, this stage 2, which you're watching now, I'm going to split the video in two, because it's 30 minutes, even when it's speed up like this, it's still 30 minutes. I usually take hours to build and decorate. And this is just one room, so imagine what that's like when I do a complete house like this, fully decorated. That's hours and hours and hours of footage. But yeah, I'm still, as you can see, I'm still trying to find a feel for certain items. I'm still trying to see what fits and what doesn't. I initially placed the bonsai tree, but I think I ended up removing it from the build because there just wasn't enough room. It kind of looked nice in there, but I wanted to add some other items too. So I ended up removing it. But yeah, let's see. I had some response from people on Twitter about this little area. Because I have placed so much clutter on the shelves, and people were just raving on about it, like, OMG, look at all that clutter. I kind of like to make sure that it looks like a place is being lived in. There's nothing wrong with making a minimalist bedroom or any room, whatever, but I feel like it adds to the whole building or room if you have some clutter, so it looks like they're actually living there and it's not just a showroom. So yeah, that's what I did, and I think that came out nicely. Also, I'm not sure if you can really see it because it's it's definitely speed up so much. But I use some, that's actually custom content, a custom content painting, and I added some custom content stacks of books on those shelves as well, and custom content lunchbox. And that's actually a custom content painting based off a painting from The Sims 2 Pets, and I recolored it, um, and I added that to The Sims 4 because I really missed that painting, and it's so mid-century modern-like, and I am a sucker for mid-century modern stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'm actually moving around the cracks in the wall, and not because I wanted to, but because it apparently, when I try to remove something from that wall, it picks up the cracks instead of those items. So I'm not sure why, but it seems like it's in front of those items, which it shouldn't be. But yeah, that's I did try to place it back in exactly the same spot though, but that was annoying. I didn't want to move the cracks anywhere, but yeah, that's the game. The game was messing with me and my building. So yeah. Anyway, I think I will round up the first version of stage 2 of this challenge now, because I think we're about 50 minutes in, and I wanted to split the video in 2 or 3 parts. So I'm going to show the rest of this room in the next video, and I hope you guys will be watching that one as well, because I tried really hard. And I hope you also appreciate and enjoy my voiceover, because that's why I haven't uploaded for the longest time, is because I wanted to make sure I did a voiceover on these videos as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment about the challenge and the build, and I hope I have inspired someone with something that I did in my build here. And if not, I just hope you enjoyed watching it, because I certainly enjoyed recording and doing this. So yeah, thanks again, and see you next time. Bye bye.